Hi there, YouTubers. I just wanted to show one of my Christmas gifts. One of the coolest little things I've got in a long time from my brother-in-law, which likes to fly quads too. It's the new Proto X, world's smallest production quadcopter. It's supposed to be black, but I've already done some mods to it, which is paint the propellers. It's the little box it comes in, really small. 2.4 gigahertz. This one actually has a 6-axis gyro and head holding. You can tell it has head holding. If you touch it in the air and try to spin it, it will return back into its facing position. It's the box itself. Little small controller. Quadcopter. It's quadcopter itself. Let's see if I can get the controller out. Very small. Very, very small controller. Let's put the box to the side. Very tiny. Very, very small. It does not have a spring to lock in position, which is great. Trims here and over there, only for this side. Has no trims for this side. It's fine because it does hold perfectly. The controller's a little difficult for bigger hands, but I've seemed to master it. And these are just some of the mods. Just painted it with Estes, or not Estes paint, I'm sorry, but Tester's paint. It's brushed on. Orange on the sides. No yellow on the back, so you can tell which is the face and not. And these little pods here, these little pieces on the feet, are basically just Nerf darts cut with a razor and slipped over. It prevents hard impact on the motors. You can also take the blades off and cut them to size and put them on the top too. So you pop a blade off. Pop the blade off like that. Take this side. You can also put it on top. Put your blade back on. I have not done this yet. I was going to put one on the top and one on the bottom. Sorry for my shaky hands. But you can put one on the top and one on the bottom. That way you got bottom protection and top protection, and it keeps the circuit board from hitting anything. If it does ram into something, it's going to bounce off. They will not fly up because the wind is pushing it down constantly. It may add a little bit of weight, but not much. The flight times are maybe 15 seconds less, not much at all. One of the other things that can be done to it, the bottom of this circuit board is wide open, so if anything metal lands on the contacts, it can cause damage to this board. You can see the shininess. That is board protection. It's been sprayed over. I do have more of that spray to spray on it, but I don't think I'm going to do that. If I was going to coat it with anything, it'd probably be Plasti Dip spray. You spray over it, that way it waterproofs the board. Underneath, you can take the canopy off, and the battery does come out. There's a very small double back tape holding the battery down, and it has a very small plug connector in the front. You could take that off, take the double back tape off, and also spray that with Plasti Dip. And be sure to mask off the motors so nothing gets on the motors. These motors do wiggle a little bit in the frame. I was worried about that, but it seems like it does not bother the little quadcopter at all. It can compensate. The gyro in this thing, like I said, is a 6-axis gyro. It's very good, and it does have head holding, so if it's in the air and if you touch it like this, it will return back like that, which is a very great feature. Most quadcopters do not have head holding. Quadcopter in my past video, the MaxTech X860, does not have head holding, and neither does the 929. I believe that's what it is, the 929. They neither have head holding, and this is awesome that it has head holding. It'll always go back. No matter how much the air or wind pushes it around, it holds itself very well. A lot better than most quadcopters. Another mod, well, slight mod, I don't know if you can call it a mod. I don't know if you can see it. These have been raised up. These little buttons pull off, okay? When they're pushed all the way down, they rub against the side right here, preventing you from going all the way. If you raise them up just a little bit, you'll have further travel, which means more speed, just by a little bit, not much. It gives it just a little bit more. Same as the other one, you get more. See where it stops? It's got more travel. It's not that hard to do. They're not going to break if you pull them off, so don't worry about it. But these are just a few of the mods that can be done to it without extremely putting too much weight on this quadcopter. And they still get about 4 minutes of flight time. They're very short flight times because of the 100 milliamp battery. I've seen some places that you can actually get the 120 and wire it up to it with that new clip. I do have a couple of them. I may do that in the future. You're not going to get too much more flight time out of this vehicle with a bigger battery, not unless you completely remove the canopy and use like an E-Flight 120 battery with it converted over with the plug, which I've seen a couple of videos of people doing that already. Gets a little bit more flight time, but also makes the quadcopter a little bit more bulky and less of what it used to look like. Hopefully y'all like this video, and maybe you'll paint yours and try some of these mods to prevent the frame from breaking, because this is a complete circuit board. That's all the frame is. It's only $40 for this little thing, but if something breaks on the circuit board, it's trash. You could keep the motors and the props, but there's no sense in it. As much as the parts cost for this quad, you might as well just buy a new one. Very good quadcopter. Not for kids, I tell you that. It's not for kids. If they wreck it, they could break the circuit board and they'll be very mad, and you'll be out $40. But thank you, and y'all have a good day.